So your Chevy's dashboard lights up with this code, B257A00. And your first thought is probably, what on earth is that and what's it going to cost me? Well, you've come to the right place. Stick around because in the next few minutes, we're going to break this thing down and give you a solid plan to get it sorted.
Yeah, that feeling when a weird code pops up on the dash. It's never good, right? But look, that code isn't just a random problem. It's actually a message. Your car is trying to tell you exactly what's wrong, and we're about to become its translator.
All right, first things first, we're going to decode that dashboard. Before we can fix anything, we've got to understand what the car is even trying to say. So let's figure out what this error code is really all about.
You know how repair manuals are full of all that confusing technical jargon? We're cutting right through all that noise. The goal here is simple. By the time we're done, you'll have a clear, step-by-step plan. No more guessing games. Okay, so what is code B257A00? Let's get right to it and look at the official, super technical definition. So officially, it's a headlamp switch input signals correlation malfunction. Yeah, I know. That is a total mouthful, and it sounds way more complicated than it is. But hang in there, because it's not as bad as it sounds. So what does all that tech speak actually mean? It really just boils down to one simple thing, a communication problem. Basically, the main computer in your car, that's the body control module, it's not talking properly with the headlight switch. That's it. That's the entire problem in a nutshell. Okay, so we know it's a communication issue, but why? Why is it happening? Well, it almost always comes down to one of four usual suspects. So let's put on our detective hats and start investigating. Think of this as our game plan. As you can see, the causes could be something as simple as a battery voltage problem, or it could be one of three specific issues with the wiring for the headlight switch. We're going to go through these one by one. And don't worry, we'll start with the easiest one first.
All right, let's get to the good part, finding the solution. We're moving from what's wrong to how do we fix it? Let's figure out exactly which one of these is causing the problem in your car.
Now, whenever you're dealing with electrical gremlins, you always start with the simplest thing first. It's just smart. So before we start tearing into wires, let's check the very heart of the car's electrical system, the battery. And here's why this is so important. That main computer, the body control module, it's a little bit sensitive. It needs the battery voltage to be just right, somewhere in that sweet spot between 9 and 16 volts. If the voltage dips too low or spikes too high, the computer kind of freaks out and throws an error code, like this one, even if the headlight switch itself is perfectly fine. So here's what you do. First step, grab a voltmeter and check that battery. Simple as that. If you're seeing a number that's not between 9 and 16 volts, then congratulations, you've probably just found your culprit. From there, you just need to charge the battery, or if it's on its last legs, go ahead and replace it. But what happens if your battery is perfectly fine? You test it and it's right in that sweet spot. Well, then we can check that off our list and move on. That means it's time to dig a little deeper and look at our next set of suspects, the wiring that connects to the headlight switch. So if it's not the battery, the problem is almost definitely in one of these three circuits. And these circuits usually fail in one of two ways. You can have what's called an open, which is kind of like a break in the wire. The signal just hits a dead end. Or you could have a short to ground. Think of that like a pinhole leak in a garden hose. The electricity is leaking out before it gets where it needs to go. A lot of the time, this is just caused by a worn-out wire or a bad connection right where it plugs into the switch.
And here's the good news. It doesn't really matter if it's an open or a short. The fix is pretty much the same. You just have to find the bad spot in the wire and repair it. Now, if the problem is right in the switch itself, you might just have to replace the whole thing. But either way, it's a manageable fix.
Okay, we have covered a lot here, right? We talked about what the code means, why it happens, and how to fix it. So let's boil all of that down into one simple checklist that you can use to tackle this thing. So this is your big takeaway. This is the exact order you should follow to figure this out. Number one, always start with the battery. It's the easiest thing to check. If the battery is all good, then you move on to checking those three circuits one by one. Following these steps in order is going to save you a ton of time and headache. Trust me. So look, you came here with a really confusing code on your dashboard. But now you know what it means, you know the most common causes, and you've got a step-by-step plan to fix it. That code isn't a mystery anymore. It's just a problem that you now have the tools to solve. You got this.